Hey everybody, welcome to Green Room Talks. My name is Lauren K.
Mic check. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Sam.
Hey. Whoa. What's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on?
How about I'm taking over the podcast today? Cue the music. Welcome to Green Room Talks podcast, where we inform and inspire performers. I am Sam, producer of this show, and today I'm taking over Lauren.
Wow.
Yeah, for a very special reason, though.
Okay.
It involves you. Yes, it involves you.
Okay.
It's a beautiful day here, and I just want to thank all of you amazing people from all over the world for listening to Green Room Talks podcast.
That's true.
We hope we can provide useful information and encouragement to all of you performers and entertainers.
Wow.
Yeah. So, how are you, Lauren?
I'm doing great. As surprised as ever.
You're surprised. Yes. I'm taking over.
Oh.
Woo! Anyways, let's talk some news.
News.
So, first, actor, writer, and director Michael Moore led an audience of his Broadway play, The Terms of My Surrender, to join him to Trump Tower, where they would protest against President Trump's comment about the horrible events of violence in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Wow.
Other celebrities like Mark Ruffalo and Olivia Wilde were there. And he bussed the people to the protest. And I think Trump was staying there, and then they were on the protest for like 90 minutes, and that happened. In other news, Frozen opens on Broadway next February. Just hours of going sale last week. They sold out for the next 5 months after opening.
Wow.
Third-party resellers are selling tickets for over $10,000. Can you believe that? Jeez. In other Disney news, Disney is removing their content from Netflix, and they announced they're building its own streaming service. So, let's talk about the news.
News. Okay.
First of all, let's talk about this Michael Moore thing.
Okay. So,
what do you think about that?
Well, I think that it is something that is very appropriate, and I'll tell you why. First of all, his Broadway production, I believe it's a one-man show.
It's a one-man show, and it's about basically it's like a protest.
Exactly.
Like the terms of my surrender, meaning like because Trump is president, and he's like, I'm not leaving this country, so I'm just gonna. The terms of my surrender. Like, I mean, that's how he describes it.
From Michael's approach.
Yeah. From his approach.
So, yeah. And from what I understand also, it kind of just touches on how we got to where we are. And I think that this is an example of what we as performers and artists and entertainers need to and should do.
Yes, like using the platform that we have.
Exactly.
That's what I wanted to get actually.
Yeah.
Like how us like as artists and as entertainers, we can use our art to express how we feel. It be politically, or it be about like rights, human rights, gay rights, stuff like that. I think it's very interesting.
I think the thing is, I just want to kind of go back. What's important is that, like you said, platform, right? It's important that we use the platform that we have to speak up about what's right, because people are always looking up to people like us and what we do. every day. And it doesn't matter what degree it's on.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you have 3 million followers on Instagram or if you have 300 people watching you a day,
Yeah.
you know?
But you're influencing
Exactly.
those people.
So I think that in the instances where like Meryl Streep using a moment where she's accepting an award.
Wow, that was
yeah, that
intense.
things like that, I think it is appropriate. And for people saying, "Oh, we don't want to hear you. We just want to see you entertain." Okay, I understand if you're going to see a film in the middle of the movie, no, they're not going to break the fourth wall and be like, "You know what? I say this." No, that's
but
not
there's a moment.
But there's a moment.
Yeah.
There's a moment and there's a time that's appropriate. So he brought his whole audience to go protest. I think
he bussed them. Like he got the people, the audience in buses and they went.
But that's great. That's great.
Amazing.
And I think that for them to go and for them to protest, and for a lot of people who may believe in what people are standing up for and maybe have never been to a protest and never have had to be in that environment, I think it did help to see the production that he put up.
Yeah.
And then to go.
And also, like, because what his play is about, you know, it has to do with what he's doing. He's showing, like, hey, this is not only a play. Like, this is actual real life. And if I need to go and protest for what I believe in and what, you know, what I think is what is right, then I'll do it.
Absolutely.
Anyways,
and just to speak up. And I think ultimately, you know, especially with the events that have been happening, I think if the person that we would think would stand up for and be a voice for everyone didn't do what we needed, then yes, let the masses.
We need to do it for ourselves.
Exactly. And especially us, because all eyes are on us, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. And we totally feel for the victims and the people. Exactly. In Charlottesville. Anyways, so Frozen. Let's talk about Frozen. Like, this movie is one of the most successful movies Disney has made. And they not only like a movie tickets and like, but merchandise and like shows and stuff like that and everything like everything about this film. I'm not gonna so I saw it. I'm an adult. I saw it as an adult. I wasn't a kid. I didn't have those memories. And I even was like, I get it. There's so many layers to everything, of course. And I mean, it was bound to happen for them to get to this level. But I want to know about the ticket sales. What's the deal? Oh, so yeah, it says that they like within hours of the tickets going on sale. Yeah. They sold out for the next 5 months. So that means from February to July. I'm not surprised. They sold that, and so they are. I think the rights for the tickets and the ticketing and stuff is Ticketmaster is managing it. Yeah. So they have a policy in which, like, if tickets sell out, third party sellers, resellers, like vendors and stuff, can't sell tickets. So goodness. So there were some tickets that they're not even like special in any sense, like tickets on the back or you know, that are going for like $10,000. Let me tell you something. Like, it's bound to happen. Let me tell you something. No, we say who would pay. We say who would pay. But, and I'm not a mommy, you're not a daddy, but I bet when your child looks at you and is like, "Mommy, I want to go see Frozen because," and it's like, I mean, I don't have that to fork out right now, but I bet that, and even adults, I mean, everybody loves, I'm sorry, everybody's tried it. Everybody's tried to sing Let It Go. I don't care who you are. In the car, in the shower. Just, Japanese. Japanese. You know what I mean? Really though,
that is the reason why this is such a success, not only musically speaking, but even just storyline. The storyline itself,
Mm.
it speaks volumes,
Yeah.
and it is so relatable, and it doesn't matter. It's great because I think that, you know, Disney just understands going
Yeah.
with time. They understand preserving the Disney magic, but also understanding that as time changes and as perspectives change, they understand how to cater to the audiences.
Also like they have like Tony award winning like choreographers and like and things that I'm kind of curious in terms
it's
of
about to
like
go down. Yeah.
how big this production is gonna be. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be a 2-act production of Frozen, full on.
When are the high schools
musical.
going to do it though? That's what I want to know.
The high
You made it
schools. Like it's gonna be a classic.
everybody-
like
yeah.
Lion King. Like
Oh yeah, they're going to try it. They're going to try it.
yeah,
There's
so-
going to be a lot of
and
glitter all over the theater.
There's also a sequel coming up. I don't know if like 2018 or 2019. There's a sequel coming up to it. So I don't know.
Frozen 2.
Let's see how it goes.
Maybe they'll call it Nitrogen because that's. Is that too much? Did you get tickled? You like that?
I like that.
Nitrogen.
Okay, so
Ew.
so in other news, like Disney
Mhm.
news, like so the removal of Disney content from Netflix, and they're creating their own streaming service. Go. What do you think about it?
Okay, this is another thing. Disney is.
Disney.
Let me tell you.
This.
That's my inflection, number one. Okay.
Your inflections are so funny.
You're an inflection. So Disney is smart, and that is an understatement. They're brilliant. Do you remember the Disney Channel?
I remember the Disney Channel.
Everybody does. They had the best Disney Channel original movies. They had the best
It was
Disney
like a
shows.
world of their own.
The whole world. What commercials did they show?
I can't remember.
There were only Disney commercials. Everything was Disney. It was Disney.
Everything,
It was a circular. The money went into itself. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what they're doing, and they can do it with the content they
can do it.
have.
They have a lot of things.
Oh,
and
my
also they
goodness.
Now they have Marvel. They have Star Wars.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. They
And
have
then
the
you
rights.
can think about all of the possibilities. And
Yeah.
think about, even when you go to the resorts, if you've ever been to a Disney resort, in your room, they are constantly showing
you Disney stuff.
it's
Disney.
they're reinforcing themselves.
Yeah. I personally don't know how that's gonna work for them. Like streaming services, like there's a lot of streaming services that have been like that didn't work,
Yeah.
and doesn't matter. Like not only Netflix has been able to survive, but Netflix has had their own like low moments. Of like, so I think like a streaming service is something that's really risky.
It's
I mean,
risky, but
I think they're onto something.
They're
but
onto
I'm
something.
just curious to see if it's successful at first.
Yes.
Will it last?
I think it will.
Being successful.
Let me tell you how. I don't know what they're going to do with this, but I can just envision it. They're not just going to do a streaming service. First of all, I think they've been thinking of this even before Netflix. And it might not have been called a streaming service, but they think of things way before anybody else does. So if anything, I think it'll be streaming along with being interactive with the theme park itself, along with whatever is on television, along with whatever is in the movie theaters, and whatever is with merchant. There's going to be something involved so that everything will be tied together. It's one of those things that it's almost like instead of getting, they have, like when you go to a Disney park and you have a magic band. Do you know what that is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So instead of having a ticket, it's a bracelet you wear for
Mhm.
it has your ticket. It has, if you want your credit card information on there.
Yeah.
It's safe though. It's not like you can go and swipe it. It has your fast passes. It has everything. It's
Yeah.
very interactive. So they
Yeah,
found a
they
way.
found a way of making
Yeah.
like software stuff with hardware stuff with
Yeah.
with making it so that you can feel
And
that illusion
exclusiveness.
and that
There's an
you feel
exclusiveness.
special.
There's going to be things that are going to be on the streaming service.
Maybe they will have like behind the scenes and some
Watch.
special content, and maybe
Where could you
like
watch
Netflix.
Where could you watch Stranger Things?
Yeah.
Only on Netflix.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, because they produce their own content.
I
It's like a little bit
know.
different.
I'll watch.
So it's a little bit different. So, but I wonder if if Disney will do something like create content like Netflix does. That's only exclusively for the streaming service. I think that will
definitely
make more sense.
A lot of behind the scenes. That's what I'm saying. A lot of behind the scenes things.
I think that will make sense. But
Well,
anyways,
I can't wait.
in that kind of like same kind of like similar news,
Yeah.
like on executive. I don't know. I didn't had this, but I just want to talk about it a little
Okay.
bit. An executive from Netflix.
Uh-huh.
I read something about this.
Mm-hmm.
He was saying something about a service for which like you pay $10 a month or something like that, and you can go to movie theater, like you can watch movies. Let's say AMC is
Uh-huh, like-
AMC theaters.
Mhm.
Let's say like you pay like a monthly membership,
Mhm.
and you can watch unlimited movies.
That's interesting.
So
And it could be, yeah, I wonder if it's any,
I wonder
because
what's
there's Regal, AMC,
yeah,
the
like
local $3 drive-in.
I don't know how that would work, but it's interesting how things not only with online content
Yeah.
are being like doing like having like this monthly payment thing. Like
Mhm.
for example, right now I work with a lot of like audio
Yeah.
software, audio plugins and stuff like that.
Because without you, nothing would be possible.
Yeah, like right now I'm using plugins for this podcast, and most of those softwares like Avid and stuff like that, they're using monthly subscriptions.
Yeah.
And like the whole world sorry.
Whoa.
Whoa.
The whole
I'm sorry.
world? The whole world.
The whole world is like gravitating towards that idea
Yeah.
of like you pay monthly for this service.
Mhm.
And
Well, what sounds better? Doggone, pay me $120 and you can go to the movies. You're like, what?
It's how-
No.
it's- yeah.
Or just give me $10 a month. It's like, oh yeah.
yeah,
You don't even
sounds
notice
more-
you don't go to the. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah. No, you don't even notice.
it's-
It's much better that
Anyways,
way.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's get to it.
It's
Let's get to the main thing.
Muy interesante.
Yeah, here
Is
you
that
go, the
right?
Spanish, yeah.
Hey.
Hey. Muy
Uh,
bien tu español.
Ah.
So today, the purpose of me invading this podcast
Yes, you did.
is I did
Thought I was just
is
doing a
because
little voiceover.
like I want to know, as I don't know, I think that most of you would be like are wondering more about Lauren K, about the host of this show. The host. So so I thought like maybe let me just come like and invade this show
Okay.
and interview you. Like and just like
Okay.
doing a little interview stuff, not a little, but just to get for the audience to get to know you better.
Okay.
And to get to know who you are and what you've done and all the things. So I thought it was a good idea. So that's why
You're a good idea.
yeah, you are. Let me tell you, you are a great idea. Anyways, so let's start, Lauren K. Like,
Okay.
let's start the conversation. I just want the audience to know more about you. So where do you come from? Like, just talk to us from the beginning.
Who am I?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Have you seen that movie of like Jackie Chan that he has like he lost his memory
No.
and he yells, "Who am I?"
that famous
You're
scene. Actually, I've seen that.
Yeah, you remember. So yeah, who are you?
I'm gonna do that in the morning. All right, everybody. Well, I've been invaded.
Let's talk about this. Let's
Okay.
talk about this.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask more specific things.
Okay.
So talk to us about. Shut up. Talk to us about where you come from, about your childhood.
Okay.
You know.
Huh.
Like,
My childhood. So I am originally from Norcross, Georgia, and that is a suburb in Atlanta, Georgia.
yeah.
I moved to Swanee, Georgia, when I was
Those are interesting names.
Norcross and
Norcross,
Swanee.
Swanee.
Yes, when I was 9 years old, and I was 8 or 9. And I've always been in the suburbs. I've always been a suburban girl.
Yeah. What is that? What is the difference
So-
that you think between a suburban and like a city?
Suburbs are the best for me. It's in between the city and the country.
Yeah.
You're not out of touch with the country, but you're not so far away from the city that you're like not in the hustle and bustle of things.
I see.
So it's just like my neighborhood, both growing up, like beautiful homes with a cul-de-sac, which is like a circle. It's like in a subdivision.
Yeah.
Yeah, circle of
understand.
homes and like streets with, it's like a typical like people mowing the grass, people riding their bikes,
Yeah.
Timmy's kicking the ball in front of the lawn.
What?
Yeah.
What in your childhood?
In my
I know you're from the suburbs.
Yeah, I'm from the suburbs, and I mean, I have an older sister, and she's 10 years older than I am. And
Hey, Jonay.
huge, hey,
Shout out to Jonay.
sister. She's a makeup artist in Atlanta. She's the best. And
Yeah, actually, yeah. She's a great makeup
she's
artist.
a great makeup artist
Follow her on Instagram.
on Instagram.
Yeah. Shout out to Jonay
Jonay
Irving.
Blair.
Blair.
MUA.
Sorry, Blair.
Jonay Irving Blair.
Irving
Yes.
Blair. Love you.
Love you. Okay. Hashtag we're back. So, we had a huge age gap. But everything, I think, musically, where my performing side comes from, if
That's
that's
what I
where
was
you're
going.
going. Okay,
That's what I was going.
yeah,
This is what I was talking about. Like, where,
what's going on with
what's
me?
going on in terms of like, when did you figure out like some kids start like modeling or they
I
start
understand.
taking dancing
I
classes.
understand.
What started that journey for you?
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. I grew up in a family who did not stop me from being myself.
That's great.
That's what it is.
You're blessed.
Nobody ever said that's ridiculous. Nobody ever said you cannot do that. Nobody ever said that won't work.
So it was an encouraging
environment. Completely blessed. Completely encouraging, and also immersing me in music. So much kind of music.
Yeah.
My dad listened to NPR all the time. And I was like, Dad, this opera though. Oh my goodness. And
did
it's
you
like,
love it or did you hate
no,
it?
as a child, I was like, no, turn this down. But then of course, like, I'm like, well, actually,
Later you
I'm
develop
getting
a
it.
taste
Yeah,
for it.
I get it. Classical music, I was like, Dad, but then I found out Chopin is my favorite composer.
Yes.
And
One of my favorites too.
yes, because you can just sit down and play it and it blows my mind. Hashtag we're back. So my mom, both of my parents, like, were well-rounded in music, but I remember like my mom talking about James Brown and like Ray Charles, and then my dad playing Yanni for me, and my sister.
Your dad plays.
My dad plays
instrument.
piano, yes, but I mean like exposing me to so much kind of music and like so many kinds of things, like performing wise. We went to see Alvin Ailey for my birthday in Atlanta. Like I remember them always taking me to see the arts, and I was always immersed in it. Now, I wasn't necessarily the kid who was like, I have piano at 5, I have dance at 6:30, and I have
those super kids that
yeah.
have
No,
everything.
I didn't do that.
They're
I
the
didn't do that.
captain of like
Yeah.
the spelling bee team.
Yeah, they were
and
captain. They won. They're winning
had,
at
like,
life. Yeah.
poor mothers. Like I remember a kid in my school that used to do everything. Like he used to have like guitar lessons, and
Yeah.
he played soccer. It was like, your mom, like what? Like, how
you know what they're
can
doing? They're wearing their children out, because look, that's the secret to get them to go to bed. You wear the child out, wear them out
like,
in the
it
middle
was
of
like,
the day.
how many things you do in a week?
Yeah, it's a lot, but
Yeah.
you know, you learn, and that works for a lot of people. That works for them, and that works for their kids as well.
Yeah.
Keeping them involved. For me, it was all about like, what do you like listening to? What about this? What about that? I listen to Whitney Houston a lot. I listen to, you know, just a lot of like, you know, Patti LaBelle and Aretha Franklin, and like, just, you know, they were always keeping me immersed. And, you know, as I got older, my background really is choral singing. That's really what my happy place
so
is.
where does that come from? Like, it's from your school or from your church? Where
Yeah.
does choral singer?
Well-
choral singing.
Yeah. It feels
Comes
good to
from.
say.
Yeah.
So, of course, like, I also, I was a church choir child. And I think with that foundation, I learned I learned how to use my voice in a different sense. You know, there's a different sound when you have a southern church choir, Southern Baptist church choir. And I think that was another good foundation for how I am now, and understanding different things and harmonies, and understanding that side of the music, that exposure. Yes. But also with the other choral side of things, like, I first got my first little bite when I remember I was in the 5th grade, and I saw I was like in the 3rd or 4th grade, and I saw the 5th grade choir, the chorus in school, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do that. So I switched schools, I think that was around the time I switched schools. And when I went to the 6th grade, that's when you get the choice, you know,
You
that
can
extra
choose whether you're
band, chorus, or orchestra.
Wow.
Now, of course, I was like, I want to do all 3 because I love the arts. And they're like,
You wanted
Lauren,
to be one of those kids.
Yeah, I did. I just loved it. I was like, I love violin, and I don't know, like, band.
I want to play violin.
I wanna do it.
want to play the trumpet.
Yeah.
I want to play the piano.
Yeah. Oddly enough, yes, because my dad plays trumpet as well. So I was like,
That's awesome.
Trumpet, violin, voice. But they were like, you can only choose one. And I was like, oh. You know what's funny? I was like, I'll do chorus because I don't have to carry an instrument around.
That's smart.
When you're in a hurry,
hey,
you just run.
or you can play a piccolo. It's like this big. It's like
that piccolo.
it's like a
let me tell you.
pen, and you carry it in
You just carry it in your pocket.
Your pocket.
I'd carry it in my purse. So, yeah, I chose chorus, and from then on, that's where I learned music and the intricate side of
a lot of people go to choruses and they're apart from. But what else? What happened that you found out I'm really good at this in like performing to like good at this. I'm good enough for me to pursue this. When did you find that out? Was it earlier or was it later in your teenage years?
I think it was later. There's this doing it for fun kind of thing. I will tell you this. This is great memories. When I was when I was a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
I was at North Gwinnett High School in Suwanee, Georgia. I think that's Buford, though. That's like technically the city. Anyway. Technicalities. North Gwinnett High School. Before I moved to Peachtree Ridge High School. So at North Gwinnett High School, I did Oklahoma, and I was just one of the ensemble like singers.
Yeah.
But I remember this feeling that I felt, and I think that you're talking about like, oh, like when did it first?
Yeah.
I remember how it felt being on stage singing that music, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is it. I thought like, oh my gosh,
It's a
like,
done deal.
oh yeah, it was done. I thought that this was like, that was just going to be, that was just it. I felt like, I was like, I want to do this all the time. Like Oklahoma is the business. Like I thought,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that like something that changes your like blows your mind when you're a kid and you realize the greatness of music and all the possibilities and what like you get exposed to a certain thing like when you do a musical.
Yeah.
For example, if you are used to doing like choral or just like church and music and stuff, it like brings like a whole nother world to you.
It opens it up.
For me,
Yeah.
it was like Les Mis. Like
That's what it was for you.
what for me when I heard, I think I was a teenager, like my early teens, when I first heard the Les Mis soundtrack.
Yeah.
That was something that blew my mind. Like I couldn't believe how beautiful. Like I
Everything all together.
obviously I wasn't able to understand everything. Like I'm a native Spanish speaker.
Where
Like,
are you from?
I'm from Puerto Rico.
Ah,
Shout out to all my Puerto Ricans friends.
the PR.
Yeah, all my Latino friends. Anyways, but yeah, like I didn't understand much, and I didn't even understand the context of what it meant, but the beauty of it. And
It was just the beauty, and that's all you need sometimes.
Yeah.
Because that's when you can go back and revisit something. And I jumping back to the whole Disney thing. Think about let's talk about The Lion King and when you first saw that film when you were a child.
Yeah.
And whatever it was great to you at that point, when you become an adult and go back and see that movie after not seeing it, oh my goodness, talk about, you're like, first of all, his brother was a dog, like totally. And those things you're just like,
I think it was the lion, but
that's a real knee slapper. You're just cracking yourself up.
I'm having fun today. I'm on the other side.
I know.
Of the table.
So when it's just thinking about all those things, and it's like, I think that's the beauty of what music can be and what art is revisiting and re-seeing things. How you see a painting, how you see like the Mona Lisa when you're a child, you're like, oh, here's the Mona Lisa and I'm in school and I'm learning. And then, you grow up and you're like, the proportions are just not right, but there's beauty in that.
Yeah.
And it's just, you appreciate all of those things. And I think that's why, like, there is that beauty in just kind of like revisiting and reliving things.
That's great.
And the discovery. So,
how, okay, so later, fast forward until you like that sound effect. Fast forward to high school, and it's time for you to choose your career. Like what, I don't know, what happened there? What happened in your senior year?
So, my senior year, I did visit that whole, not overachiever, but I was like, oh, I'm going to take summer classes and get ahead. So my senior year, I have it easy. Yeah. I did do that. And I don't know what happened to me, but I did it, which was smart. Yeah, so smart. I took a couple courses before my senior year just to get ahead. So my senior year, I had like a little more free time. So I was able to take a course off campus at Grayson High School. And it was, I think it was music recording. If it was music recording or music
technology, maybe.
Maybe it was music technology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that
There's only one O in that, technology.
Technology.
There's only one O. Yeah, I think it was music technology because I did. Oh, was it recording?
It's like, yeah, because like
But,
in music technology, you do like music recording and you like explore some softwares.
Actually, I think it was recording.
It was just recording.
I think so.
Okay.
But I just learned. This is horrible. I can't even remember the teacher's name. He was great.
But
it's okay. He was great. He made me feel great. The class was great. It was small. Now, like everybody in there was really serious about like, I don't know where they are now, but like they could be working on some major projects. Everybody was great and serious. And like we learned about Pro Tools, learned about like, the different mics and learned about all that kind of stuff. And of course I was still in chorus and, taking a little theory and stuff like that. But one day we had a substitute teacher. She was very young. Like, I think now that I'm thinking about it, she must have been like 22 years old. Wow. So, I mean, for high school, you're almost there. So you're like, oh my gosh, like we're basically both adults, but you're in high school. So whatever. Yeah. So she was just talking to us about like stuff. And she was like, yeah, I went to school for vocal performance. And then after that, it was like, I went to school for vocal performance. Because I was like, what?
It's like, what? You can do that?
Yeah, I actually didn't know. I was still figuring things out.
Yeah.
Now, this is actually before my senior year, the whole substitute teacher thing. I'm
anyways,
awesome at I'm awesome at storytelling tonight.
The timeline.
Awesome at storytelling.
I think like it's around that high school era.
I was in high school. It's a blur. So one time in my high school career, that happened. And I do remember thinking about it. I was a student athletic trainer in high school for the Peachtree Ridge football team. It was just starting out. And I really was interested. I love the game of football. I love football. And I love sports. I'm very strange in my well-roundedness, but that's just what it is. Like I love, like I feel like I'm a guy's girl all the time. Like I'd rather not. I don't want to dwell on like patterns and like colors of pillows and things. Like no, not saying that that's girl or guy thing. I'm just saying
that's what you.
I like to be in like, where's the game? What's happening? Yes, rah, let's cheer it on. So I wanted to do that because I wanted to be involved in the game of football and like that scene. So I was really serious about it. And, I learned different things like with, wrapping ankles and like sports medicine, like thumbs, wrists, and, water and like, oh, this player's having a cramp right now. What do? Okay, pay attention to the game. Run out, give the boys water now because they're just having a little timeout. Like, pay attention. And traveling with the team dinners, hearing the team prep talk. Team got in trouble, bear crawls. Like, the serious real deal. And the coach was great. Coach Owens, I believe his name was. And anyway, he was amazing. Yeah. And I think in that, me trying to figure out where I was going in my life, of course, a lot of, people, adults in my life were thinking like, oh, do the safe route, go with sports medicine, go some sort of safe route. Like, Lauren, I know you love music. I know you love singing. I know you love to perform, but you can do that anytime, do something that will pay your bills.
Yeah, I heard that a lot. I went to school for engineering my first years.
Yeah.
And that's why I heard, oh yeah, just get a degree in engineering. You're smart. Like, you can do it. And then after you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the I didn't finish that. And kept following my dreams.
Follow your dreams. It'll keep calling you back.
Yes. Because if not, like, man, I just felt, there was a time in my life that I just felt like 30 years from now, I'm going to look back at my life.
Yeah.
And ask myself, No, like all those people that told me just take the safe route or just do this, are not going to be there in that moment with me when I
Exactly.
ask myself, was it worth it? Did I make the right decision? Did I pursue the right
Exactly.
career? When
Exactly.
I'm like bored out of my mind 30 years from now. But anyways, like, yeah, what else in your, like, so you decided after, all of those people that told you take the safe route, or how did your parents, were your parents supportive of
They're
your.
completely supportive. Again, I like I said before, I've been completely I recognized how blessed I am to have parents and a family who who understands how important it is to pursue what you believe in. And they completely supported me. They said, of
That's
course,
amazing.
they of course
Yeah,
understand, like, you know, yes, you've got to pay the bills, but at the same time, you've got to live with the decisions that you make.
that's great.
So yeah, they supported my decision. Um, I, I went to school for at first vocal performance it was at the time Shorter College. Now it's Shorter University. And then they're still trying to figure things out.
You started vocal
I
performance.
did vocal performance,
Vocal performance.
and then still trying to figure things out. I changed to musical theater because I was trying to figure out, like,
What make
more so.
what made you change?
Well, I at the time I think that I appreciated I appreciated the art of classical singing.
Yeah.
I think that I wasn't disciplined enough at the time. And there were moments in me that I had that I was like, oh, yes, like, you could do this. But I I didn't have enough push in myself,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, to, I think, stay in that. Because now, if if now it's like if somebody could come work with me like every day just on that, and like
Yeah.
me do my diction, and like, I think at the time
Yeah.
there I was
You weren't ready
just
for that.
I wasn't, but that's me, because
Yeah.
there are people that
Every
were.
experience
Everybody has different
is
experience.
different.
So um I changed to musical theater because I was trying to, like, think about more of my niche, and
Yeah.
like thinking about, like, well, I want to like start performing, and I want to start, like, let me figure out myself. I was trying to figure out, like, what kind of voice. That's a hard thing. Like, what is your voice?
Yeah.
That's
Like what
hard to
what
figure
kind of
out.
style, what kind of like
Yeah.
your tone and your color, and sometimes that
Yeah.
changes over
It
the
no,
time.
it definitely does. And um my voice teacher, Dr. Brian Nevin, he's amazing, and he was incredible at what he did, um in every way. And along the way, he also is someone who's like, get to figure things out, and he, like, guided me along the right way. Now, this is what happened. A friend of mine at the time, Asha Brownie Gordon, she was like, I'm going to this Disney audition. And I was like, oh, really? And, like, I was like, I'll go. Like, wow, let's go
Yeah.
to an audition. And it was for the college program at
Disney college
the
program.
Disney college program.
Famous Disney college
A
program.
lot of people have been through this
Yeah.
program.
Even
And
even engineers friend of mine
oh
have done
yeah,
it.
no,
It's
a lot of
everything.
people, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people. It's great. It's a great experience. Because I did it. I did it. I made it, and uh, I I met some incredible people. That was an incredible start
What did
to.
you do in the
I
Disney?
was in entertainment. I was blessed to be in
Wow.
entertainment. Yeah, and
That's
it's
that's a
great.
blessing.
It's great, and it was a great. That
So
was a great foundation
was the audition like, what was the audition like for
from
Disney college program?
from what I remember. It was back in um we we did some things. Okay, it's very,
Was it like a
very hazy.
performing
You
audition?
perform, but most of it is just to see how comfortable with you are with being yourself and telling a story. I can't remember specific things. Like I can't say, of course, like the time, it wasn't like I was going for a vocalist audition. This is like entertainment. So from what I remember, it's just storytelling.
Cool.
Which is honestly what we all do all the time.
Yeah.
So it's just using yourself to tell a story, because sometimes you can't use words, you know?
That's
And that's the beauty of it. I think that really the experiences I had doing the Disney college program entertainment experience, that's another, I have a lot of foundations, I say, of building blocks. That has been something that has stayed with me, because it taught me how to tell a story without using words.
Yeah.
And what does that do? That is how you cross it with communication.
That's what makes you go further into your performance.
Absolutely.
If you are able to like, and actually that's like, I have been studying a lot of like, just like music marketing, and like how you get your music art and out, and how you release music and stuff. And most, like, I have read this a lot in a lot of articles and books. It's not just the music of someone that makes people want to hear it. It's the story.
Absolutely.
Like it's their story what makes it. For example, like America's Got Talent, and like people are looking for the story. So
well, of course, that's why. And this is something like I've never auditioned for America's Got Talent or American Idol or The Voice. Yes, I've never auditioned for those things, but I do know.
I auditioned for The Voice.
This is a voice.
Twice.
Oh, yes. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
The thing that you have to remember is, yes, because of that platform that they have with television, they do need a story. Because if you're just a great singer, it's not enough.
Yeah. Okay, you're a great singer. What? Now
yeah,
what?
It's like great now, but what's gonna pull my heart? That doesn't mean what's gonna
get people.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean like I gotta be gimmicky and say like, oh, I almost.
No, but it's it's not about that. It's
but that's just the truth, because
it's just an example of.
It's an example of
how important the story is.
Yeah, you're
behind this.
Yes, exactly.
Behind everything, like how important.
Everything.
So you learned the importance of storytelling.
I did
in Disney college program entertainment.
I think in that entertainment, that time, yes, I did. And I think that, it's just one of the things that's an experience. And it's not like if you haven't been through that, then it's just that if you wherever you are in whatever point in your career you're at, think back to a first experience you had in something. And think about where you were and what you've gained and learned from it.
That's awesome.
Because I guarantee if you learn the lesson when the lesson is taught, it'll stick with you, and you'll carry. Yeah.
And if you appreciate, like, if you instead of like, if you really pay attention and you really learn.
Yeah.
Like some people, it takes time for people to learn stuff.
Exactly. But yeah, it's one of those things that if you
take it,
that's success. You when a lesson is presented, and you take it, learn from it. And if something keeps happening, let's just take a little stop and think, okay, wait, what do I need to learn and figure out right now? It's like, I was just talking about this with someone the other day. This could even be like, it's not to say like, I don't know why I'm not getting Audrey in Little Shop of Horrors, because it's like, well, there's some things about you that you're not. It's like, yeah. But it's like, if you're auditioning, let's say for a role, or you're going out for something or some kind of company or agency or something, and you're like, I wonder why I'm not getting this. Take a moment and see if there's something about yourself that you keep doing that maybe you need to change. How are you presenting yourself?
Yeah.
And Are you singing the same song all the time? Is your headshot updated? Is that outfit the most appropriate? There's a lot of things that, yes, sometimes it's just a no, but sometimes it's like if you just take a look at yourself and think about it, or like,
yourself.
and just or sometimes think back to a foundation and kind of humble yourself a little bit. Where did I start?
Yeah.
What did I learn? How can I apply that to where I am now?
So Lauren, that's really insightful and inspirational. What after Disney Disney, that's in Chinese, how this Disney. After a Disney college program, what comes after that? What do you do after that?
I stayed with the company and
Stay with Disney.
I stayed with Disney. I stayed in the Orlando area. Actually both theme parks. There's like Universal and Disney.
Universal Orlando, Disney.
Universal Orlando and Disney World.
Walt Disney World, yes.
The Walt Disney World Resort.
Mm-hmm.
Walt Disney World Parks and Resorts. And I stayed in the Orlando area. I did some television / commercial work there. And I was able to be exposed to and meet some of the most incredible people who, again, recognizing the people that believed in what I could do as a person and as a woman, and thinking about, just the little pushes that I've gotten through my life.
Yeah.
I think that's just kind of what's molded me into who I am now.
Yeah.
And I think that really taking it full circle, that is why I want to do this project, because I believe that, like I said, there's so many incredible people in
this
green
project
rooms.
with me in green
room talks. There's so many incredible people in green rooms, and there's so many incredible people who happen to be performers, who happen to be entertainers. And I think that, I have to say, I see more in people than maybe they will see in themselves.
Yeah.
And I don't always get a chance to say that to them. If you take away someone's vocal abilities, if you take someone's movement and dance away, or if you take someone's skills in an instrument, the character, the heart, the minds of the people that I know and the people that I've met is astounding. And they have so much to offer the world. And I think that especially now, especially now with what's going on, we are more than just singing, and we're more than just dancing.
Yeah.
We're more than just making people clap along and smile
or entertain, or just like
we're
for
more
you
than
to
that.
get away. It's more than that.
We're more than that. Yes. And I'm glad you said that. I think that, and I'll say this, every podcast, we have a huge responsibility because there are times, again, where we want to be the ones maybe that are away, but we know it's our job. It's our job to make the people in the audience forget just for a moment. Just for a moment, forget what happened today. Just for a moment. It's okay.
Or
remember
a moment. Make them remember something beautiful.
Something. That's the responsibility. Yeah. But also, what I don't want people to forget, especially our performers and entertainers, is that we also have a voice more than just the singing. just
Yes.
the acting.
Mm-hmm.
There's more in us than that.
Yeah.
That does not define who you are.
That's an important advice, and it's especially like when you are like, imagine yourself without the things that you do.
Yeah.
What do you have left if you,
That's a
God forbid,
reality.
like, you can't perform anymore?
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna? How are you gonna make a difference in this world?
Yes.
And that's, I think that's what we are. That's, I think that's something that, working with Green Room Talks, that's something that's really important to us.
Exactly.
So, Lauren, you have worked in the Orlando scene for years,
Mm-hmm.
travel all over the world, working here in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and now, Green Room Talks. What I know, you have talked a little bit about, like, when you were talking about why we're doing this, and the direction we're taking in doing this podcast, and and stuff like that. But can you just talk to me more about what you see, like, what made you want to pursue this, and, like, just say, like, you know what, I want to make my own podcast, I want to talk about this, and I want to have this platform for performers and
Yeah, it's like
designers.
I think mainly because I think I just want there to be more conversation happening, and especially
Mm.
involving the people who are in green rooms
Yeah.
around the world. There are green rooms all over the world,
Yeah.
and
And even like, from Broadway to a cafeteria green room slash green room in Knoxville, Tennessee, or
yeah,
something like
yeah. I
that.
mean, like, whatever you're going to use as a green, like, community theater to Broadway, national tours.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I think that there are, because we have this other perspective on life, performers and entertainers. And that's what I want more people to hear, and also encouragement for us. I think there's always a focus on, oh, I want to go see this play, or oh, I want to go hear this artist, or oh, I want to go see this person dance. But then again, that's all that they may be known for, or they may not think about them having something to say. And that's not to say that, everyone is like that. It's just, what I'm saying is that I want there to be more conversation, more encouragement, more enlightenment happening
Yeah.
in our community.
More
And
positive things. Like, I think there's enough going in the world
yeah,
that's like, there's enough of, like, hate, and there's enough of,
there's always going to be hate. There's always going to be hate in the world, and there's always
yeah.
going to be divide in the world.
But I think we can, like, as performers, we can bring something
Of course, that's
different
exactly.
into.
Exactly. And I think that that's going to take us, again, being an example. And instead of competing with each other, this is now especially, but even moving forward, it's a time for us to unite. And it's a time for us to stand together, support each other, help each
Yes.
other, encourage each other,
Mm-hmm.
and really call each other brothers and sisters,
Yes.
because that's what we are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a unique position that we're in, but I think that's why we do what we do.
We do what we do
Yeah.
with Green Room Talks.
Yes.
Lauren, we have been talking for almost an hour.
No, we haven't.
Yeah, almost an hour. Yeah, a couple of seconds.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I guess.
Oh my goodness.
To kind of, like, close.
Yes.
If you, this is the last question I'm gonna ask you.
Uh-oh.
Yes, it's an interesting question. I've been thinking about this lately.
He's been thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. if you could say something to you 10 years from now, like right now.
10 years from now?
Yeah,
Or
no, like you right now. Like let's say you're right now. If you can talk to yourself 10 years from
ago.
now, 10 years forward
Okay.
in your future.
Not
If you
ago.
could talk to your future self.
My future
I need
self.
to elaborate.
Okay, no,
like
it's fine.
If you can talk to your future self, what would you say to like remind yourself of something?
Oh. My future self.
Yeah, if you right now can talk to
That's interesting. Because
Yeah,
normally,
right?
that's why I was like, ago. Like I kept talking 10 years ago for 500.
No,
No, 10 years from now.
Usually people ask that.
Yeah, that's
like,
why I got tripped up.
No, but it's like 10 years from now because I know like sometimes I have been in that thought of like reminding myself who I am.
Yeah.
Reminding myself
That's a good point.
who I come from.
I'll
Like,
tell you.
What would you do? What would you say?
You know what? I would say everything's going to be all right. Because you have never been let down. You've never fallen on your face. You kept going.
Yeah.
Even when times got tough and even when circumstances were not ideal, you kept going and you kept moving. And for me, I know that is because of what God has done for me in my life.
Yeah.
But if I ever get out of touch with myself, if I ever feel like I'm losing it, just don't, because everything's going to be okay.
That's beautiful. You know what's funny? That actually this is recorded, so you can, like, the 10-year ago thing, you can't go back. But from 10 years from now, you can go back and listen to this. Isn't that
you
great?
did this on purpose.
I did this on purpose. You know what I mean? Like, hey, good old producer Sam just here.
Oh my!
Thinking about the questions.
Well, muchas gracias.
Well, we have been talking for over an hour.
Wow!
Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to this long conversation. Again, this has been great. It has been great. Like, thank you.
You really took over today.
I took over today. But hey, I'm sure our audience is stoked and they are like excited that they got to hear from learn more from their host Lauren K.
That's sweet. Producer Sam, thank you for today. Producer Sam.
Yes.
Thank you so much for today, and thank you for reminding me of a lot of things.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
You're beautiful.
Oh, you're beautiful. Well.
Right.
Anyways, so thank you so much, everyone. You can follow us on Instagram at Green Room Talks. You can follow Lauren on Instagram at I am Lauren K. You can follow me at Mones Samuel in all of like social media. And you can also follow.
We've got Twitter.
We have Twitter
at GRT Podcast.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions or topic suggestions, the email is greenroomtalks@gmail.com. If there is anything you want to know.
Yeah, or comments, just we want to hear what you think, and I don't know, we want to hear from you. Anyways, other thing that I wanted to add is all of those people that are listening in iTunes, via iTunes or the podcast app from Apple, please rate this show. You can rate this show. You can help us by rating this show and leaving a little review of what you think it is. And that will help us with the traffic so more people can find Green Room Talks.
Leave a little review.
Isn't that great?
It's great.
Yeah. Also, the last thing.
Okay.
You can subscribe. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
We are working on in Green Room Talks YouTube channel. We're gonna release not only the podcast, the audio.
Yes.
But we are gonna start uploading new content soon, like video content.
That's what we're going to do because we got feedback that people want to see my face more. So I'm going to...
To all those people that want to see Lauren's face.
My face.
More.
Thank you. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And
we're working on
We're working on
like,
it. We're working.
We're working on bringing you some video content.
Speaking of video content, I think it's ice cream time. That was not a good segue, but it worked. So now, is it?
Well, ice cream is always a good segue. Well, everyone, thank you so much for listening.
Thank you.
We'll see you in the next episode with Lauren,
Kay,
and Green Room Talks. Thank you so much.
Thanks, producer Sam.
Thank you, host Lauren.
Thanks
see
for
you guys.
listening.
Thank you.